I don't have a weekend. I literally don't have a
I
weekend.
wanted to hear that.
हमको भी एक इंटरव्यू ऐसे ही करना चाहिए.
कैसे?
ऐसे पूरा stuffed mouth
To do that. What we do sitting here with you is what you were going to do.
Exactly. I know what he's having for breakfast, what time he's getting up. We starting?
We are rolling only.
अच्छा, we rolling only. Holy shit. Did I say
तो
anything?
आपने वो जो रजनीगंधा वाला बोल दिया ना, वो आ गया है.
I'll do a slow motion walk.
Yeah, we're creative and talkative. There's no stopping this. There's no topping this. Time to explain what's in our veins, what's in our minds. Take a peek into these lives. Yeah, we're creative and talkative. There's no stopping this. There's no topping this. Time to explain what's in our veins, what's in our minds. Take a peek into these lives.
All right. So, how did I get into advertising? So I had done my engineering, right, where I don't know why I landed up in an engineering college. I have absolutely no idea. उस टाइम कुछ ज़्यादा होता नहीं था, या तो डॉक्टर बन जाओ या इंजीनियर बन जाओ. And somehow I made it to an engineering college, and I had a miserable time out there for 4 years. Great people around, but like I wasn't into it at all, right? तो उसके बाद फिर मैं MBA करने चला गया, right? And I was very clear, I'm going to an MBA college because there is a aam zindagi and there is a mentor's zindagi. I'm going there for the mentor's zindagi, right? And there was a professor of ours called Professor Thirunarayana, right? And he started talking to us about marketing, the way it happened, the way people would do a certain thing, and somebody, Pepsi would do this and Coke would counter with this, and then Pepsi had a new whatever. Okay. And I was like, dude, I found the purpose of my life. This is what I want to do.
But you've always been someone who just follows your gut, na, in that sense.
I always follow my gut? Yeah, I would.
You do, right?
Say so,
I mean, from whatever little we've spoken, you
right.
come across as someone who just, if it seems right, you'll just do it.
No, I love what this guy said. No, like, these big guys like Bill Gates and all, whether he said it, somebody else said it. This is how I read the meme to be, right? I don't take good decisions. I take decisions and then I make them good.
So today, when you look back, is there something that you like, you followed in terms of this is what I want to do, this is how I'm going to plan my career? Or did you just go with, okay, let me just take each day at a time?
No, I knew what I wanted at the core of me, right? I always followed good work, right? Whatever we do, it has to be stuff which moves people, right? It moves people first at an emotional level, and that emotion can be humor, it can be a tearjerker, any of those, right? But at the end of the day, it has to move people into buying stuff, right?
Correct.
That being the ladder for me, right? That in that kind of an order. I always wanted to do that. So your inner compass will keep on guiding you to the agencies, to people which are along that kind of a belief system. So I've always followed that, and you'll never be wrong because it's your heart taking that call rather than your brain, right? So
yeah,
brain faltu hai.
Achha,
Right?
really? Brain is overrated, like
brain
they
is
say.
way too overrated.
Most people know, they always say, at least people we've spoken to, that this has been my source of inspiration. So have you had one or maybe multiple sources of inspiration? It could be in any form.
Work-wise, I make sure that people around us are some of the best people that we can possibly have. The people that we work for from outside of Enormous also. I try and make sure that we are the best, hands on the table for that. And I think every time you have conversations around a particular project or about life and the popular culture and stuff, every single time they are molding you in the way that you think about marketing itself, advertising itself, popular culture itself. Should I ask them?
Can we ask someone to just...
Silence! I wasn't supposed to get up?
No, but you screamed in the mic, she's gone deaf.
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! मेरे को बहुत अच्छा लगता है ऐसे सेट्स पे ना, मेरा काम नहीं होता है ये साइलेंस वगैरह बोलना. But the alpha thing that you get out of that. No, balance! Right. Rishi, एक बार नीचे रखना ना, मैं इसको बताऊं. रिद्धिमा, just keep the volume down. No, volume down. Keep the volume down. Very low.
What is the difference between the weekday Ashish and the weekend Ashish?
I don't have a weekend. I literally don't have a
I
weekend.
wanted to hear that. That's why I asked
I
you.
don't have a weekend. I mean, I'm sure that lots of people who are in a similar kind of a thing. I mean, I do find time for my family, for my cycling, but that's like, fill in the blanks and all that. This is my life. I take my, this is my life, and I take my life back home, right?
No,
And
what
my
is interesting
son.
is I've heard that you make breakfast. You make your own breakfast. घर पे भी बनाते हो आप?
How the hell do you know this?
Aha, see?
How the hell do you know this? Damn, my God. तुम कैमरा लगा रखे हैं मेरे घर पे?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how professional a chef are you in that sense?
No, I make breakfast and only breakfast.
That's
right?
okay. We can
I
start a
can
MasterChef
make a-
series of MasterChef
of breakfast. Yeah, I can make like like some 30 ways of making eggs. 30 नहीं तो 20 तो आराम से. I can make egg like 20 different ways and
So
all
the
that.
next time we are coming here
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a
yeah,
morning
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
We are
You have
not
to come
coming in the
home.
evening.
You have to come home.
Okay. You always say that people in our industry are not valued. Creatives especially.
Right. No, people are valued. Right. People are valued. People know that these set of people or a team or an agency can add a considerable amount of value to the business that I do, the kind of love that my brand gets and all that. Are you going to, repay that love back in, what the agency deserves or what that person deserves? That doesn't happen, right? So, US, many other places in the West, the premium is on IPs,
Huh.
right? The intellectual properties, the
Yeah,
thinking that they
yeah.
do and stuff. And there is some money for execution. This country is only about execution, right? So I'm pretty sure, I don't have the numbers, but I'm pretty sure that, let's say, the outdoor industry is many times over the size of the creative industry. It doesn't make sense, no? वो टीम का पतरा है, right? Of course, it's the space and there is a concessionaire and all of that. But how can you discount the people who are actually making brands amazing?
Correct.
Who are making an idea like just a gibberish sort of a thing, which is ting ting ting, the
Yeah.
way the entire country talks, right? So there is no premium for that because people don't value time enough. They know that this can add value to the business, but people are not willing to pay. Agencies rather don't know how to monetize, and that's been the struggle for agencies for a very long time.
Good, you spoke about this. So now the next question is, what sets Enormous apart?
Everything. So we make sure, what I spoke about earlier, that there is a passion, the hunger for good work, for bringing about a change, for making yourself count. We always make sure that we have a similar bunch of people around. We all driven by the same thing, right? That we must make ourselves count. You scratch a little bit, then you see that the work is also very, very strategic, right? We don't go out there and just sing out the strategy in a jingle or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's very strategic work which is made to build brands, build a conversation for the brands that we are working on. That's why while we do very well at Creative Awards, also we do equally well in awards like Effie's, which is then about not just the piece of creative work,
Yeah.
that too, but also the background that you were operating in, the strategy that came with, the insight that came with, the results that it had. So our work, we try and make it as strategic. Everybody will say that, right? I don't think anybody goes to office every morning, आज ना strategic काम नहीं करेंगे, right? और आज अच्छा काम नहीं करेंगे.
Any recent piece of work that you wish Enormous would have, could have?
I love the work that has been done on Colgate, right? Especially the one where people are brushing their teeth with the CSR piece of Colgate.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. It's so insightful. I love that, right? I
So,
really thought
of
it
all
was
the
beautiful.
work that, of course, I've seen that Enormous has done, one of my favorites is the Jaguar one. I
Right.
think, everything about it is, even though it's in your face, na, there
Right.
is a certain, I mean, the concept is so subtle ke, you assume कि Jaguar है तो
Right.
bathroom ही होगा. So, you know, the way it has been shot and the way those people are talking and all, somehow, so there is humor.
No, we
but-
just got lucky. That's all I can say.
No,
We
no,
just
I
got
think
lucky.
it was-
I always tell people, yeah, it's hard work to get stuff out, right? It's really hard work. You have to have a great idea. You have to have a client with that kind of gumption. Then you have to have, the people you're collaborating with. Every single one of them being right on that day. You see something interesting, you should stand up and clap.
Correct.
Because we know how hard it is to
Yeah.
get good work out.
Is there any way to measure success beyond your traditional metrics of views, engagements? ये सब छोड़ के, is there something else also?
यार आज तो बहुत ही simple है, right? So I don't know what so many of them are still doing in business, like people who do this whole business of measuring impact and all that.
हाँ.
All of our clients, right? And about 20 minutes of the ad being aired, they know the results. Rapido, bike wali taxi, सबसे sexy.
Correct.
We knew in a week
Yeah.
or less than a week that this campaign is it's a blitzkrieg.
Also, in good old days, of course, so advertising was responsible for creating stereotypes.
Right.
Now, I think advertising is kind of trying to break the stereotypes.
Right.
So, do you also feel that it's happening? And
See, advertising definitely has a role to play in culture. I think we've, somewhere moved away from what advertising really should do. Bring in those portraitures that you want the society to be a reflection of, as well as you take reflections from there. Don't go overboard. Let's just come in here, do this in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really think this whole extreme conversations about a brand having a super big purpose in the world, and then that is not what consumers are looking for.
Correct. Do you think, what would you pick, firm beliefs or an open mind?
An open mind, it'd be a politically incorrect thing for me to say a firm belief, right?
When you hire newbies or new people into Enormous, what are the things you look for? Qualities, things in their portfolio?
Of course, portfolios, you told me and I forgot. So, of course, the portfolio is important.
Yeah.
But you know how it is with portfolios in our industry, right? So, मतलब खरबूजा कटेगा सब में बटेगा, right?
Correct.
So anybody who was in the agency also, I mean, I've literally seen people who were not even in that agency because they were in the agencies that I was working in, and they had picked up work from elsewhere and all that. So portfolio is important because, I mean, it does tell you a leitmotif, right? So particular one piece of work is not important, but what is the voice, right?
Correct.
But more importantly, I think what is critical is passion. Right? A passion, a hunger for doing things, changing things, wanting to do better and all of that. And you can't fake it.
And any qualities that you feel that the new gen has that probably we didn't have when we were starting off?
Exposure, right? But I think, the difference between, let's say, my generation or thereabouts and the generation now is that this generation is only getting stuff fed to them, as in they're just discovering it. They're not searching for it.
Right.
Right? It's just
Absolutely.
coming to them. So your personality, your taste, your work is getting defined by algorithms.
Yeah.
In our generation, our taste wasn't getting defined by algorithms. I think there are schools out here which are doing a stellar job of molding what the next generation would be like, right? So I mean, I can think of a few. There is Miami Ad School, and we've had people who come to our place, and I saw an acuity of vision, sharpness of craft, right? Otherwise, what you're seeing is, a lot of, noise.
The one mantra that you've lived by or which has helped you?
The mantra is very simple. Build a great team around you. build the people that you have a great time working with. The work doesn't feel like work. Surround yourself with great people. I mean, that is what I probably have always done. I've never thought about if I have a mantra, if I have anything at all. Just have great people around you. They'll always make you look good, right? You'll make them look good by supporting them. They'll make you look good by bringing interesting ideas to the table because they're interesting people themselves.
Let us tell you what we wanna say. Not about just getting paid or achieving fame. It's about the everyday blood, sweat and tears, dreams and fears, everything you gotta hear. Listen, from the first steps to the